Abraham the thing that I'm going to be doing through the destruction? Because I told him about how I was going to bless. I told him about the blessing. I told him about the mixing of the nations. I told him about all that. Should I tell him about the coming destruction of Sodom and Amorah? Look at verse 18. I don't know, but seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be nivrechud. Notice, here's the plan for filling the world with the seed of Abraham. He says, should I tell Abraham that I'm going to destroy Sodom and Amorah? Why? Because he's going to be a mighty nation, and through that nation, the Zerah, mixing in the exile, in punishment and judgment, scattered to the four winds of the earth, scattered to the four corners of the earth. I will not only scatter Israel to the four corners of the earth, I'll fill every nation they wind up with your seed, because all the earth will be nivrechud in him, meaning his seed will mix in the entire earth with every nation. So since he's going to be the father of all nations, shouldn't I tell him what I'm going to do to this group of people? Since he's going to one day be the father of all nations, shouldn't I clue him in on what I'm going to do to Sodom and to Amorah? Does this make sense? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So here's the second word, that use of that word, nivrechu. Now we see that word nivrechu for the final time in Bereshit 28:14. Now we're going to get into some very important things. Some of you, this is a review. For some of you, this is new stuff. That's fine. We have a lot of new people. I want to nail it down for you also. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Bereshit 28:14. He's speaking now to Yaakov in what is commonly known as Yaakov's ladder. You see that in verse 12. Genesis Bereshit 28:12. This is the account of Yaakov's what? Ladder. Jacob's ladder, before it was a bookstore, it was a real ladder. Can you believe that? Can you believe there's actually something called Jacob's ladder and it wasn't even a bookstore? Yaakov's ladder. And so Yeshua, who is where? At the top, and the Malachim at the top of Yaakov's ladder, appears to Yaakov and says, verse 14, you see this land that you lie on, Israel, I will give it to you and to your Zerah. Verse 14, Bereshit. And your Zerah, your sperm, shall be as the dust of the earth, and shall break out. The Hebrew word is uparatzah. It'll break out, it'll spread, it'll break out like a multitude of fish. It will break out abroad to the west, to the east, to the north, to the south. And in your breakout, turn your neighbor and say breakout. In your breakout. Let's try that again. Breakout. In your breakout, your physical sperm, your zerah, will break out to the four corners of the earth. And in you all the mishpachot, all the families of the earth shall be mixed. Get it? Shall be mixed. So the same covenant promise of physical multiplicity goes from who? Goes from Abraham to Yitzchak and now to Yaakov. This is key to understanding what I want to share with you for many reasons. So the word nivrechu, this is the last time it appears in conjunction or in connection with who? Yaakov, Jacob, or Israel. Same promise. Turn to your neighbor and say, same promise. Same promise. Not a different promise. Yahweh promised Abraham, then he promised Yitzchak, then he promised Yaakov, and he promised him the same exact thing. Which was what? Your zerah will upratzah, Genesis 28. Upratzah, it'll break forth to the east, to the west, to the north, and the south. It'll break forth to all the mishpachot, families of the earth, because all the families, all the mishpachot, all. A-L-L. How many families do not have the seed of Jacob, Israel? 0. Every family on the earth. Every family in the north. Every family in the south. Every family in the east. Every family in the west. Every family on your block. Every family in your neighborhood. Every family in your county. Every family in your vicinity. Every family, every nook, every cranny, every hamlet, every village has the seed of Jacob. Notice I didn't say Abraham. You know why? Can we talk? Come here. Let's talk. Can we talk?
Yes.
Let's call me Rabbi Rivers. Can we talk? Even the Aravim, the Arabs were descended from Abraham. Even the Hare Krishna are descended from Abraham. It ain't no big deal to be descended from Abraham. Yahweh said he would be the father of every family, every nation on the earth. It's not, that doesn't mean they're blessed. It just means they're nivrachud. Every family is nivrachud, or mixed or assimilated into the seed of Abraham. But the trick, the miracle, the promise, the hope, the aspiration, the strength to become Israel comes through Jacob. And Jacob's ladder, not the bookstore. This is the place you don't need a credit card. At Yaakov's ladder, he renews the same promise of physical multiplicity. And he says, Jake, every neighborhood, every tribe, every family, every mishpacha, every nook, every cranny, every hamlet, every village, every city, every state, every family, every family in this room will not only have the blood, because the life of the flesh is in the blood, and the sperm gives life to other physical human beings. There's no such thing as a... Yo soy espiritual Israel. Yo soy judío. ¿Cuándo? ¿Dónde? Ahí. En mi corazón. Huh? Where on earth is that? I'm a Jew in my heart. Really? Well, you must need a heart transplant. Well, I have a Jewish heart. Really? Well, what's wrong with a South African heart? Well, I got a heart for the Jews. What do you do? I never heard of a spiritual Jew. Is there a physical term or a spiritual term?
Physical.
How many believe Jacob laid with... Now, let me make sure I get this right. I'm going to get Jacob in trouble. How many believe Yaakov lay with Rachel and with Leah? How many believe he injected her with a spiritual email? Or a candy grab? You? No one believes that. Who raised their hand? That was sperm as in flotilla. As in find home for flotilla. True? There's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. So all those in the church who claim to be the new spiritual Israel, by definition, are they not physical human beings? We're spiritual Israel. We're the new Israel, really. Okay, so you're so spiritual, you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't bathe, you don't brush your teeth. All those who claim to be spiritual Israel incorrectly, are they not physical human beings? And the Jews, many of the Jews who are not saved and who are not born again, in order to be pleasing to Abba Yahweh, they must be born again to get the strength to be the real Israel. So all the Jews who are Israel must be born again to become spiritual Israel. So then Israel is neither physical or spiritual. It is the one new man who is both physical and spiritual. If you remember nothing else that I ever taught you, you need to remember that. Israel is every believer who is both physical and spiritual Israel. Jacob was Israel, but he had to become spiritual Israel, and that happened right here with Jacob's ladder. Hello? Jews need the strength to become what? A new creation and become the Israel of Yahweh. Ephraimites need to have their eyes open and to